Hello again, golfers, and welcome to the 11th episode of Inside the Ropes, a deeply personal journey with Scottie Walnuts, a PGA Tour 2K25 course showcase series. I'm your host, Scottie Walnuts, and today we're going to check out an ArchitexMaze course called Fairhaven Bay, Washington. Just a reminder that we film these episodes live on Twitch every Tuesday night beginning at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and if you found your way here, then you're very welcome to join us on Tuesday nights, and the link for that is below in the description. Okay, so ArchitexMaze, this designer creates some of the most detailed environments around his courses with meticulous planting schemes and high attention to detail. I couldn't actually find this course on the TGC directory, so maybe he just hasn't got around to submitting it yet, but he has 24 TGC-approved publishes to his name in the directory. You might be familiar with some of his courses from the 2K23 game, and one that comes to mind as one of my favorite 23 courses is Tingle Creek, England, but he's also the one responsible for courses you might recognize, such as Lake Osaka East and West, Pharaoh's Run, Egypt, Isle of Skye, Scotland, and another one of my favorites, Snake River, Wyoming. So no designer description for this one, but based on the name of the course, we're in Washington State, so we're going to see what appears to be a coastal Pacific Northwest environment. 3 sets of tees ranging from 7,398 yards at the shorter end red tee all the way back to the tips. The white tees where we'll play from at 7,571 yards. Just a reminder, we're on TGC Tour's Platinum Tour settings for a round, which is Legend Swing difficulty, and we use a default ball, so we'll get a sense of how the course plays on the difficulty played by the best players in the world. And if you enjoy the showcase, remember to smash that like and subscribe button, and leave a comment to let me know what you think of the course and the round. Alright, so Fairhaven Bay, Washington, we're set up here. Tips. Pin 3, medium wind to the south, all default, which is firm, fast. Let's get out there to the first tee. See what sort of treat we have in store for us here. We'll see already sort of a wind-swept landscape, perhaps. And his courses are always beautifully planted. As stunning as it is, it's in some way no surprise. You can see another green site over there. Or maybe that's just the clubhouse, not just, but that's the clubhouse and surrounding areas. Or it looks, yeah, almost like a whole sort of camp of sorts, almost. Cabins, maybe, who knows? We can take a closer look as we go along here. Tennis courts, yeah, so we got a whole sort of, maybe like outdoor activity lodge type situation or something going on here. Would reckon there's, go for a swim on the beach, or maybe there's some fishing, maybe, you got your tennis court there. Putting green up here, and maybe have dinner over here, something like that. Something like that, Something beautiful. All right, but we got 488 yards to navigate here to start the round. It's a little bit downhill. Just get a driver out there if we can. Hundred and 73 yards in. We've got an 8-iron in our hand right now. Sunlight just being sort of scattered through the fog or the haze, and just lighten up the course. It's a beautiful day. Maybe a little hazy, but it's a beautiful day. Makes it all the more beautiful. Coming at this opening pin here. Pretty sure we absolutely clobbered that putt. Gonna leave ourselves a healthy 9-footer here on 183s to save par. Hey, what's up, Kurtzky? Countdown's on, isn't it? Through the opening hole with the par. Looks like we continue our way down the coastline here. 438-yard par 4. Once you get around this corner, it opens up a little bit and you got some room. In this case, just the little bit of tailwind is going to give us the confidence we need to do that. Try to do it at least. $29, not that anybody's count, Ski. Not that anybody's count, right? That's like an interesting bounce. That one, probably most of the time, something like that's gonna bounce forward and to the left and into that one. Kicked right. We almost ran out of room, but we'll be all right. 121. Choke up on a 50. Scooch on the open side, perhaps. It's blizzarded. That's unfortunate, although not entirely unexpected for this time of year where you're at. 8 feet for birdie on 2. That one does drop. Right. And 17-yard par 3. Got a little bit of length to it. See some water out there. Snow up on the mountains. We are in Washington after all. Might even see Joey somewhere on the way. Guy. Ian. I think they're all Washington men. Now this ball should release a little bit left to right for us. It's not going to quite climb back to where the pin is, but not bad for a long par 3. 22 feet. Nice view over the water. Make the par. Head into the 4th. Nice, very natural looking cart path that runs along this course too. You can see here it runs actually through the fairway in this case, but the ground is sort of blended to make it sort of a seamless, like part, like it's a component of not just, it's part of the environment. Still coming down this coast here, 603 yard, par 5, a little bit downhill, I think. Still need to hit the shot, but a power drive would do it, pretty sure. Out there, 263 left. Downhill on a spot that's probably not going to be super easy to stop the ball. You'll just kind of want to try and dribble it on, but that requires very precise outcome. Take the 3-iron in here, see if we can roll it all the way up on the firm fairway. There's a world where this actually is too much, maybe even way too much. Yeah. I wouldn't say way too much, it's just tough to stop that one, but that 3-iron ended up going 272 yards if you saw the final countdown there on that one. 272 yards, mostly on account of that downhill landing zone. 28 feet for eagle, though. Mountains in the background. We do drop it. Beautiful outcome on a beautiful golf hole. Another one coming up, it looks like. .444-yard par 4 fifth hole. It's downhill. A little bit of wind with us. I think we can afford the luxury of being pretty safe on this one. Choke up on the tee shot. .108 yards remain. Choke up on the 56 for this one. It's a little bit uphill, probably offset more or less by tailwind. Scooch on the open side, but we're using a wedge, so not a lot of trouble there. 7 feet. Tricky one, though. Right to left. Yeah, we're alright, though. We'll make the birdie. .427 yards. This one is uphill. Approach will be over water. Maybe a tiny bit reminiscent of the last episode, where the shots that clear are the same shots that run you out through the fairway. Got to be a little bit careful on this one. Both to get it far enough out and to not get it too far out. Delicate balance. on some of these holes. First cut, 139 yards. Okay, see we got to start a retaining wall. Here is the path, and over the bridge there. Presumably en route to our next hole. Make the par on 6 there. Good looking hole here. Looks like, yep, par 3, 7th hole. Over water. Although, water not in play. Talking about real life, that might be a different discussion, but at least for the most part, this water should not be in play. 186, pins right at the back. No reason that you shouldn't be able to get right at this one in a way. It does roll off at the back a little bit, but good shot should get you in there. I'll probably roll out because it does pick up speed behind the hole here, but all in all, not an awful outcome. It'll be a little uphill pitch or chip, or a putt or chip. And we'll make the 2. We'll make the 2. Eighth hole, 490 yards to par 4. Okay. A little bit lengthy, but what you see is what you get, I think, for the most part. There's no hidden OB or anything weird going on here, I don't think. What you see is what you get. Get her out there, get her on. That's the ask. Distance is the main thing to overcome here. We'll subtract a good amount of that on that tee shot. 136 remain. I think we'll take a 50 in here. $17 feet. That one ends up in the bottom of the cup. End of the 9th hole. 6 under through 8. End of 9. 526 yards. It's a par 5. Uphill. Left to right. Squeezing some yards could be the difference here, so let's maybe try and see if we can get a power drive out there. .222 in. It's gettable, but it is uphill. It's into the wind, but green certainly allows the shot to happen. Ball below the feet, though, maybe the biggest variable here. Yeah. That is not what we were hoping our third shot was going to look like. We were sitting pretty off the tee there on a gettable par 5, and now we've got ourselves into a bit of a spot here. Bit of a pickle from up here, in fact. Sometimes getting yourself in a pickle, you're just using your eyes to it. You get yourself into a pickle and you kind of like it. That finishes our front 9 with eagle -8. And we're going to pop into the clubhouse real quick. We'll see you back on the 10th in just a moment. All right, and we're back on the 10th tee here, which starts the back 9 with 493 yards to one of the narrower greens that we've seen here. Nice sort of look there, but kind of dangerous feeling hole. 493. This water, I don't think is really in play. If there was a tailwind, it would be, but maybe just chill out on the driver a little bit. We've been rolling through fairways a little bit here. Yeah, very, very cautious. Lots of room left, but 199 in. And we can see got a nice look out over the water there. Some sort of buildings. Some sort of buildings over there. It's like an actual road there. Maybe who knows what that could be. Use your imagination. Could be many things. And we will make the three on the longer par four there that starts the back nine. 381-yard 11th hole here. Kind of the best of all worlds, and there is water in play, and certainly you don't want to test the limits, but a lot of good looks over water, but that doesn't actually come into play. So you get the best of both worlds. You get the beauty of the aqua, you get the beauty of the aqua, and you also get um, like you can enjoy it from a distance because as the golfer, you're not really loving, or it's mixed feelings at the very least when you're seeing water becoming a big part of your experience of your round. 381 yards downhill. Let's just rip a power drive, see what happens. Again, not necessarily the philosophy if you're going to play competitive or TGC, but any quad perfect power drive enjoyers with us? Leave a comment if you are a quad perfect power drive enjoyer. Looks like this one's going to roll over the green. Just a cool 407 yards over the green. Yep. 93 yards, par three. Maybe choke up on the 6-iron here for this one. Like birdie on the par 3 12th there. Keep it rolling a little bit. Par 5 13th coming on up. As we work our way through Fairhaven Bay here, Washington. 593 yards. It's a little bit downhill. Par 5. Don't really want to test it on the left-hand side, I don't think. Steered clear of the left, stick to the right, and we're going to be okay right there. Bit of a narrow shot, but it's trying to protect itself from the golfer getting home in two, which we do now have a chance at because we did hit that fairway on the power drive. Still going to be a very tricky shot in here. 251 yards. Not a lot of green to work with considering the distance you're coming at it. Is 3-iron power approach in play here? I think it is. I think we're going to see one, in fact. Just a matter of how aggressive we really want to get right at it. Any quad perfect power approach enjoyers with us? Off the rock, just like we calculated. Yeah, we'll be all right there. We'll be all right. Got that flop probably a little cleaner than I actually wanted to. 19 feet for birdie. Yep. Finding ways. Finding ways. Par 3 14th next. Just beautiful looks throughout this course. And that's what you see with this designer. You can even see like through the wall, like so beautiful par 3, of course, 142 yards. Largely surrounded by water, but again, you can appreciate it from a little bit of distance. You don't want to test it because it could come into play, but you can appreciate it from a bit of a removed distance. It's like, oh yeah. So 142 yards, you can see through the trees there way out in the distance, some sort of like that's maybe the I don't know, clubhouse or building we looked at earlier, maybe who knows. 142 yards downhill. Twenty-one feet. Just the calculated 7-degree closed to convert the birdie. Finding ways. We are finding ways here at Fairhaven Bay, Washington. 13 through 14. $442 yards. Tee shot and then the approach coming over water there, you see. Very sort of beautiful how the sun and the haziness and the fogginess sort of comes through the trees there in a really special way. Love that. Little bench over here. Maybe you catch me and Knight just hanging out here. Mm-hmm. 114 yards, gonna be probably a 56-degree choke up on it. Birdie on 15 keeps it rolling. $348 yards. This is probably, out of all the pins, the least accessible off the tee, but we're also talking about 348 yards just to get to a front pin, which might be ambitious from the outset. But the shot's there. I do think the shot is there. It's not easily done, but it's there.
That's a solid enough go at it, especially like we were saying that pin. If it's a back pin, you can actually more confidently just roll it off or roll it out back there. But with this little downhill that you see here in front of the pin from where we're now shooting from, I think a super flop becomes the play to try and get us up and down for birdie or something along those lines. Which we do. Keep it rolling. Heading to 17 then. Or sorry, 418 yards. Probably would prefer to come at it from this side but in some way there's enough green around the pin and you can just kind of get her out there on the left side with a little bit less stress. I think we might go ahead and do that. Knox poking her head in on 17 here. 106 remain. Choke up on a 56. Just a scooch maybe of the ball below the feet. Just a scooch of left to right. Breeze. Right up there, but we're okay. 11 feet. That one stays high. We've been finding many ways. Train comes to an end on 17 there. Still an adequate scorecard we got going here. We're 15 through 17, head into the par 5 18th. .569 yards. One last tee shot over some water there. Again, very beautiful. We got a what's going on here? Some sort of garage type situations going on over here. We'll take a look when we're off the tee. Hey, what's up, Dak? Appreciate you coming in. Curious what we were just looking at over there. Call it a garage. I think what I meant was more of a cart shed, but it might not be that either. Let's take a look. What's happening over here? Just a secret little. Oh, maybe it's more of like a for the boat for the fish or for the fishermen. I mean. And then, of course, we're on 18, so we're heading back to the big clubhouse complex. Now we took a look at it right off the bat. You can see that sort of earthy cart path working its way back up there as you complete your round. We got 258 yards over water and sand. Let's do this thing. I think we might have just hit the green too. I think we also might have like a 200-foot putt. Probably about that. It's 69 feet. It's 69 feet right on the magic number. And coming down on this red slope on 183s is not a lot of fun. We'll do, I think, well to two-putt this, but keeping this ball close is going to be tricky. What's happening? Knox? Still rolling. Still rolling. Here we go. Here we go. Let gravity take over. There we go. We've been finding ways all day, though, and we've found a final way there on the 18th hole with the birdie. And that completes the round at Fairhaven Bay, Washington, 16 under. Let's take a look at that scorecard. Knox is digging it. We got 2 eagles on the card. If we had just found a way on 17, we would have birdied out the back 9. But otherwise, we got 8 out of 9 on the back 9. 8 under out, 8 under in, 16 under.
Watching another edition of Inside the Ropes, a deeply personal journey with Scottie Walnuts. If you enjoyed the show, remember to hit the like and subscribe button and leave a comment to let me know what you thought about the round. Remember, we're live most evenings on Twitch with golf and sometimes other sport and story games, and we film these episodes in front of a live studio audience on Twitch every Tuesday night. Link in the description. TM high, and let 'em fly.